Sign your life away.
Morning.
Hello, it's gonna be 15 on the card, okay?
Okay.
So far, everybody's done good today. Don't be the one. Part 1, 5, have a good day.
There you are, lap 5.
Thanks.
You.
They are easy, but because they are hard.
So, heute sind wir im Kennedy Space Center. Mal sehen, was uns hier erwartet. Es sind zumindest noch viele andere Menschen auf dieselbe Idee gekommen, heute hierher zu gehen.
So, das wird aber gut sein, oder? Ja, ist egal.
Each star is 6 feet across, and each red and white stripe is wide enough for this bus to drive down. And the entire VAB? It's so huge that the Roman Colosseum would fit on the route with room to spare for a parking lot. By volume, the VAB can fit 3.5 Empire State Buildings, and it would take 250 billion ping pong balls to fill it.
Okay, so it's right here to our left, that is the VAB, the Vehicle Assembly Building. Now this is the largest single-story building in the world, and those doors you see, there's 2 more on the backside just like these, and they are the tallest doors in the world, 456 feet tall, and it takes 45 minutes to open one all the way to the top, to close it all the way to the bottom. That NASA logo you see up there, that is the largest NASA logo in the world. And for those of you that are not familiar with NASA, that stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration. That flag you see up there, that is the largest hand-painted flag in the world. Now once a rocket is completed inside of the building there, they will call for the crawler transporters. We have 2 of them. There's a CT-1, CT-2. However, CT-1 has been in retirement since 2011. As it brought the last shuttle out to the launch pad and then came in and retired right over there in the staging area, which I will point out to you a little bit. Also, they have CT-2, and they highly modified that because they disassembled the gantry at 39B and built a mobile launcher, and so now they had to make it so it would carry more than 18 million pounds, so it's capable now of carrying around 23 million pounds. One of the things they found out on the first trip out to the launch pad, though, that the crawler slowed down. So instead of doing 1 mile an hour, now it does about a half a mile an hour.
One day, however, the dream of flying through the moon almost slipped away. It was January 27th, 1967. Astronauts Virgil Gus Grissom, Edward White, and Roger Chaffee were on board Apollo 1 for a plugs-out test, a full-scale dress rehearsal for the actual launch. Suddenly it happened. There was a fire in the capsule. 3 men whose lives had been in our hands were lost.
Surely the opening vistas of space promise high costs and hardships, as well as high reward. But this country of the United States was not built by those who waited and rested and wished to look behind them.
After Apollo 1, some thought we'd failed, and that the moon was out of our reach. But we owed it to those men to learn from their sacrifice and to carry on.
Mankind is about to leave his planet behind and journey to another. It is one of those rare moments when history is not being made, destiny is being embraced.
This is launch control, T-minus 3 minutes and counting. We've completed our communications checks with the Apollo 8 astronauts in the cabin, and the communications are go. During this period, once we do get the firing command, the various tanks within the 3 stages of the Saturn V launch vehicle begin to pressurize. We have firing command. The firing command is in. We are now on the automatic sequence. T-minus 2 minutes, 20 seconds, and counting. Our status board indicates that all aspects are ready. Instrument unit is ready. Spacecraft ready. Final check of the emergency detection system. That ready light also on. First stage preparations are completed.
All systems are A-OK.
Keep going.
We're on. Ready to go to cockpit.
Stand by, Walter. Okay, you're on.
All systems go.
1 minute 45 seconds and counting. The first stage liquid oxygen tank has been pressurized and the pressure is still building up. Final reports coming from Frank Borman at this time. Final look at the switch list aboard the spacecraft. 20 seconds, all aspects, we are still low at this time. T-minus 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. The ignition sequence start. The engines are armed. 4, 3,
Apollo 8 successfully orbited the moon, and the astronauts returned safely to the Earth. I know. I'm Jim Lovell, and I was one of the crew of this spacecraft, Apollo 8. We were the first men to see the surface of the moon from just a few miles away. But it was the hundreds of thousands of men and women who worked in that team, and the millions of people who supported the mission that really made it possible. That way, I guess, we all went to the moon. Now, on the other side of those doors, you'll find an actual Saturn V moon rocket. It's still the most powerful, the most complex machine ever built. And I guess it's the only one that can take you to another planet. I actually got to fly one on a second flight to the moon called Apollo 13. But that's another story.
Was ist das? Stück Mond?
Der erste Wiesbadener, der einen Mondschein berührt? Ja oder nein? Das ist die Frage. Jetzt macht man gerade mal schnell ein Foto.
Ich will den auch anfassen.
Die ganze Leute.
Das ist aber das ist doch kein Moonrock, das ist doch einfach
ein Foto von mir.
Ich meine, die würden hier die Leute verarschen, oder? Mit einem Stück Stein, also Moonrock, nicht wirklich. Ikea-Fliese oder so.
It was a moment shared by an entire world.
Here, man, from the planet Earth, first set foot upon the Mars, became indeed for all mankind.
With these first steps, mankind stood on the highest ground, and we saw our planet as our home port in the endless ocean of space.
Ab mein Kind.
Die Treppen hoch.
Overhead Display hast du auch?
So, eben haben wir noch einen Raketenstart mitgemacht in einem Space Shuttle. Das war ziemlich abgefahren, hat ganz schön gewackelt. Aber könnte ich mir vorstellen, also wenn das in ein paar Jahren möglich ist, da irgendwo zum Mond zu fliegen. Also der John F. Kennedy Themenpark hat hier ganz schön was zu bieten. Es hat sich auf jeden Fall gelohnt, das Geld auszugeben. Kommt einfach selber hierher und guckt euch das an, das war großartig. Jetzt haben wir noch ein bisschen was über die ISS gelernt. Auch immer wieder spannend, kann ich empfehlen. Die App ISS Detektor, da könnt ihr immer mal sehen, wann die regelmäßig über euren Standort fliegt. Ist auf jeden Fall interessant anzugucken.
Sunshine State, Florida. Massenweise Regen und Aquaplaning, Hochsommerreifen, wir werden alle sterben.
Auf die Gefahr hin, dass man mich wieder nicht versteht, hier nochmal, wir waren heute lecker essen in so einer Sportsbar. Da läuft jetzt gleich das Footballspiel, deshalb ist hier einigermaßen laut. Das Essen war dafür sehr lecker. Das Wetter in Jupiter ist einigermaßen bescheiden, so wie wir das von dem Sunshine State Florida ja gewohnt sind. Morgen treiben wir uns weiter in Florida rum, wo genau wissen wir noch nicht. Seht ihr dann. Bleibt dran, liked unsere Videos und abonniert den Kanal. Macht's gut, bis morgen.